Hello, this is Susie Chow, and I am so excited that you're joining me today. If you're watching the replay, type replay in the comments below so I know that you caught this. I'm very excited to share today the 5 best places to live abroad for a month. I'm going to tell you why each place is awesome, perfect for living abroad, and when you should go, how much it costs to live there, and why you should go. So I'm only going to be sharing 5 places. I know the world's a big place, and it was really hard for me to choose these 5 places, but I've got a freebie where I've outlined the cost and seasonality of 152 places around the world. So if you want that, just click the link in my bio, or you can type the starter kit in the comments below. So go grab that copy. And I just wanted to kind of take a step back and say, just think about if you've ever been on vacation and ever said, I wish I could move here. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You can experience life as a local in another country for as short as a month without moving. So I know this is probably a new concept. So when I talk about living abroad, that looks like picking one place for your home base for a month. You can take some day trips or maybe even some overnight trips from there. It's really about interacting with locals and expats to see what daily life is like, because that's usually something you can't do on vacation, but it's something everybody wants to do. It's really taking more time to relax, spend time with loved ones, even be spontaneous and not have a structure every single day. And again, that's really a big difference from your typical vacation. And generally just living your best life in a new environment, open your eyes to possibilities. The more time you have, the easier it is to disconnect from work and to think about the big picture of life. Now, that probably sounds great, but you might be thinking living abroad for a month is way too overwhelming to plan. How on earth do you choose to go, where to go? I'm going to help you with that. And way too expensive. You'll see from this video that it's actually probably less expensive than a 1 or 2 week vacation that you typically take on an annual basis. So I'm going to share and hopefully clear some of those objections that you might have popping up in your head. So, when people start thinking about this, one of the first questions they want to jump to is, where should I go? And I'm going to share those top 5 places to inspire you, show you what you can do in each place and how much it costs. So, you ready? Let's do it. The first place is Lisbon, Portugal. Now, Portugal is just an incredible country. I specifically chose Lisbon because I think it's got so much to offer for everyone. Tons of amazing food, culture. You will not be bored being there for a month. It's a very walkable city. You can experience a lot in a short amount of time. It's also a great location for side trips. You can go out to the wine region of Alentejo in just a little over an hour, and even down to the beaches of the Algarve in under a couple hours. So you could do that as day trips. You could spend some extra time and have more of an extended stay there. The best time to go, in my opinion, is spring and fall. Of course, summer works too. It's just going to be more crowded and prices will be higher. But I estimate that if you want to spend a month in Portugal, it will cost, depending on if you're a solo traveler or if you're a larger family, anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 for the entire month. That includes your accommodations. It excludes flights. So just as a disclaimer, all of these prices that I'm talking about exclude flights. They're more on the ground in-country expenses, but it is inclusive of your accommodations, your food, activities. There's a really fantastic resource called nomadlist.com. So that's a great place to start to kind of see cost of living in different places. I would always add some more, because even if you're going to be spending a month in any of these places, you are probably still going to be doing some more touristy things like activities and tours and a bit more transportation costs than you might if you were going to be staying there for a longer period of time. But again, great place to start. Now, my number 2 destination is also in Europe, also good for kind of spring, fall, but maybe a little bit more summer, a little bit more beaches, and that is Split, Croatia. Now, I absolutely fell in love with Split. It's a charming town that's right on the coast, so it's got beaches, it's got good food, really fantastic value for Europe specifically. Now, a lot of people aren't very familiar with Croatian food, but think about its neighbors. It's kind of popped in there between, Italy, Greece is nearby, so and love those foods. It's got a little bit of influence and, of course, its own flair. So solid choice there. It's also very easy to take the ferry over to all of the islands. So no shortage of fun side trip options there. Now this, on the low end, I think is a little bit less expensive than Portugal. My estimate would be anywhere from like $3,000 to $6,000. So it's kind of similar in range as Portugal, but maybe slightly less. Now, my third place is Buenos Aires, Argentina. So this is perfect to go, especially during our winter time, because it's their summer. And so if you're looking for a getaway, especially one that, might be in a similar kind of a time zone as us in North America, it's a great option. But I love Buenos Aires. It's such a good vibe. It's very European in feeling. So it's got amazing food. I mean, just think about the wine and the steaks and all that stuff. But it's diverse enough that you can get cuisines from kind of all around the world. It's a very global city, very walkable. And the side trips, I would say that would be fantastic from Buenos Aires. Or you can pop up to Uruguay, which I think is like, at least for Americans, more of an undiscovered gem, but there are some incredible beaches there. And you really just have to take the ferry over, or a super quick flight to experience Uruguay. You could also pop over to Mendoza, which is one of my favorite wine regions in the whole world. Very laid back, such good wines, so much to experience there. I would recommend a quick flight for that. But you could also hit up Patagonia. Now that would be, maybe something that you would tack on to the beginning or the end of your trip, but very, very possible. And the nature down there is just incredible. So cost-wise, if you want to spend a month in Buenos Aires, that's even less than what I've talked about before for Europe. I would say that starts around $2,000, $2,000 to maybe up to $6,000 if you have a larger family or you want to do more side trips. But again, very affordable when you compare it to what you probably spend on a normal vacation. The fourth one is Chiang Mai, Thailand. Very low cost, it's oozing with culture, incredible food. You've got mountains nearby. A lot of people love to visit some of the elephant sanctuaries that are also nearby. That's very easy to do as a day trip. Huge expat community, so you can really see what life is like. I mean, it attracts a lot of digital nomads, expats, etc., that you can connect with. In terms of side trips, you can head up a little bit further north to Chiang Rai, lots to see there, or you could pop down to some of the islands in Thailand. I would probably recommend doing that maybe at the end of your trip and then flying home from there. So you can spend a little extra time in the islands if you have the time flexibility. The cost, the time to go for that would be also like our winter, anywhere from like late fall to early spring. That's their dry season. So again, good for getting away from our winters into a warmer location. Cost-wise, significantly less. Definitely the least expensive option out of these 5. Anywhere from $1,000. I'm really not joking, especially if you're a solo traveler. Finding like a month-long rental is extremely inexpensive, up to like maybe $4,000, even if you have like a family. Such good value. Anyway, the 5th place that I am recommending to round out my list is Costa Rica, and specifically Tamarindo. Now, this is a beach town, also fantastic for a winter getaway. But really anywhere from like the late fall through the early spring is their dry season. Tons of adventure options in Costa Rica that you can go to. You can head up into the cloud forest or the jungles to get away from the beaches. But you can also see volcanoes. I mean, there's just nature abounds there. And fantastic wildlife, also surfing. If you're into surfing, that would be a really fantastic place. The cost there would be anywhere from like $5,000 to $8,000. You could probably definitely do even a little bit less if you do more of like a backpacking kind of a style of accommodations. So that is that. I've got a few bonus tips. Now, everybody wants to jump straight into choosing the destination, but my advice is to be flexible on the destination and really take a look at, before you get your sights, and hold on tight to a destination. Let's rewind. Let's figure out when you can go, what your budget is, and the experiences that you want. So really think about like your big why for why you want to take this trip, because again, it is a gift to yourself that you're giving yourself this time, and that is different than a vacation, so you should treat it differently and plan it differently. That's one of my specialties, I think, is kind of pulling all of those together to find a destination that fits your budget, when you want to go, and really is in line with your goals. And then the last couple tips are prioritize places and experiences that you want to do now versus when you're older. A lot of people push things off to retirement, but your health might not be as you want it then. So like, what are some of those big, especially like physical achievements? I was just talking to somebody yesterday about hiking Machu Picchu. That's something that you probably want to do the younger the better. And then lastly, choose places and experiences that you can't do on a normal vacation, or that you might not prioritize for a normal vacation. So maybe something like volunteering, or really digging into the local culture, or like taking in-depth language classes or dance classes, or something that you just need a little bit more time in one place to dig into. So I hope that gets your wheels turning, along with the top 5 places. Again, if you are intrigued and you want to see the costs and seasonality, like when is a good time to go to each of these places, I kind of mentioned with the 5. I've got a amazing resource that is the Live Abroad for a Month starter kit. So hit the link in my bio to snag that, or comment below starter kit, and I will send you the link. So I'd love to know if any of these places surprised you, if there's anywhere that you've got on your list or that you would recommend to others. Pop those in the comments, or just questions that you have about living abroad for a month. I know it's kind of a new topic or new idea that maybe you haven't considered yet, but it's very possible. So I'm here to help, and I would love to help you. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye.